6 incredible ways technology may make us superhuman. In the last half of the 20th century, medical science came up with some pretty astonishing ways to replace human parts that were starting to wear out. Though the idea is commonplace now, the invention of the artificial pacemaker in the 50s must have seemed like science fiction come to life at the time. Today's innovations routinely restore a modicum of hearing to the deaf, sight to the vision-impaired, and if a pacemaker won't cut it, we can just replace that faulty heart like the water pump in your old Ford. These technologies that were in their infancy just a few decades ago are now so well established as to seem downright mundane. The medical tech that is in its infancy today likewise seems like science fiction, and if history has taught us anything, it's that this means we'll probably see a lot of it in use very soon, if it isn't already. Oh, and while there are certain applications for many of these to replace those worn-out parts, many others are intended specifically to improve upon perfectly good parts in unprecedented ways. Before we get to the list of the 6 incredible ways technology may make us superhuman, make sure to like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click that bell icon so you can be updated anytime we post a new video. Number 6. Brain-computer interface. Brain-machine A, BCI, is exactly what it sounds like. A communication link between the human brain and an external device. BCIs have been the realm of sci-fi for decades. But believe it or not, this hasn't been speculative technology for some time. There are many different types of completely functional interfaces for a variety of applications. And the earliest devices of this type to be tested in humans showed up in the mid-90s. And it's safe to say that the research is not slowing down. It has been known since the 1920s that the brain produces electrical signals, and it was speculated since then that those signals might be directed to control a mechanical device or vice versa. Since research into BCIs began in earnest in the 60s, with monkeys as the usual test subjects, many different models with different levels of invasiveness, depending upon the application, have been produced, with research progressing particularly quickly within the last 15 years or so. Number 5 on the list of incredible ways technology may make us superhuman: powered exoskeletons. Exoskeletons, SF vision of the future, is already here. The general public's concept of the powered exoskeleton is more like powered battle armor on account of the Robert Heinlein novel Starship Troopers, and also a very popular character from an increasingly pervasive multimedia franchise. The tech that's actually being developed is less geared toward battling giant robots and invading aliens, and more toward either restoring mobility to the disabled or augmenting endurance and load-carrying capacity. For example, one company manufactures a 50-pound aluminum and titanium suit called the Exo that has seen use in dozens of hospitals around the U.S. It has made people with paralyzing spinal cord injuries able to walk, an application that was once too impractical due to the bulk and weight of such a suit. Number 4 on our list of incredible ways technology may make us superhuman: cyberware. Prosthetics have been used to replace missing limbs for decades, but the modern version, cyberware, strives not for just an aesthetic replacement, but a functional one. That is, to restore a missing limb with a natural functionality and appearance. And while the use of an aforementioned brain interfaces to control robotic prosthetic devices is already happening, other explorations in this field seek to remove limitations inherent to this scheme. Many existing devices use non-invasive interfaces that detect the subtle movements of, say, chest and/or bicep muscles to control a robotic arm. Modern devices of this type are capable of some pretty fine motor movement, improving drastically in this respect over the last decade or so. Also in this field, research is underway to provide a two-way interface, a robotic prosthetic that will allow the patient to feel what they are touching with their artificial limb. But even this only scratches the surface of what's being envisioned for the future of this tech. Now, number 3 on our list of incredible ways technology may make us superhuman: brain preservation. Brain cover is here that we get into the realm of what has become known as transhumanism, the notion that we may one day be able to surpass our physical limits, to perhaps even discard our bodies or live beyond them. This notion was first suggested as a realistic prospect by Robert Ettinger, who in 1962 wrote The Prospect of Immortality, and is considered a pioneering transhumanist and the father of cryonics. That is essentially the study of the preservation of humans or animals, or parts of them, like the brain, using extremely low temperatures, below 150 degrees Celsius or 238 degrees Fahrenheit, which was the best means of preservation available at the time Edinger wrote his book. Today's brain preservation studies focus more on chemical preservation, which has been demonstrated on brain tissue, but not an entire brain, and does not require the ridiculous temperatures demanded by cryonics. The number 2 incredible way technology may make us superhuman: synthetic bodies. Android dreams as we are able to replace more and more of our body parts with versions that have been engineered, grown in a lab, or both. It stands to reason that we'll one day reach an endpoint, a point at which every part of the human body is able to be replicated, including the brain. Right now, a collaborative effort between 15 research institutions is underway trying to create hardware which emulates different sections of the human brain. The first prototype being an 8-inch wafer containing 51 million artificial synapses. Oh, the software is being replicated too. The Swiss Blue Brain project is currently using a supercomputer to reverse engineer the brain's processing functions, with many elements of the activity of a rat brain having been successfully simulated. The leader of this project, Henry Markram, stated to the BBC that they will build an artificial brain within 10 years. And the number 1 incredible way technology may make us superhuman: mind uploading. Synthetic brain. Yeah, we previously mentioned futurist Ray Kurzweil and this insanely accurate rate of predicting new technologies. Kurzweil is of the opinion that by 2040 to 2045, we will be able to literally upload the contents of our consciousness into a computer. And he's not even the only one who thinks so. Of course, many argue that brain functions cannot be reduced to simple computation, that they are not computable, and that consciousness itself poses a problem that science will never be able to solve. There's also the matter of whether an uploaded or otherwise backed up mind is indeed a different entity from that which was copied, a different consciousness altogether. Hopefully, these are questions that neuroscience will soon be able to answer. But if indeed we are ever able to inject our very minds into the digital realm, the obvious implication is that our consciousness need never terminate. We need never die. We can hang out indefinitely in fantastically rendered digital worlds and load ourselves into Cyberdyne X2000 mind vessel. When we have business in the real world, transmit ourselves through space, perhaps even through time, and share knowledge instantaneously across all of humanity. Smarter people than us are expecting these developments within your lifetime. Even if they are only partially correct, we're going to go out on a limb and say that despite the exponential explosion of technology within the last couple of decades, we ain't seen nothing yet. We hope you've enjoyed our video. Make sure to comment your favorite below, click that thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and click that bell icon so you can be notified anytime we post a new video.